Hi everyone, I'm Georgia and I currently play for Dundee United women's football team, and I am here on World Book Day to read to you one of my favourite books. So this one is Gangsta Granny by David Walliams. Now this is a really good book, it's really funny and it's really nice and easy to read. So I'm going to read to you the first chapter and then hopefully you can go away and read the rest of it yourself. So let's get started. First off, here's a little photo. So, chapter 1, Cabbagey Water. But Granny, it's so boring, said Ben. It was a cold Friday evening in November, and usually he was slumped in the back of his mum and dad's car. Once again, he was on his way to stay the night at his dreaded Granny's house. All old people are. Don't talk about your Granny like that, said Dad weakly, his fat stomach pushed up against the steering wheel of his family's little brown car. I hate spending time with her, protested Ben. Her TV doesn't work and all she wants to do is play Scrabble and she stinks of cabbage. In fairness to the boy, she does stink of cabbage, agreed Mum, as she applied the last-minute lip liner. You're not helping, wife, muttered Dad. At worst, my mother has a slight odour of boiled vegetables. Can't I come with you, pleaded Ben. I love dancing? He lied. It's called ballroom dancing, corrected Dad. And you don't love it. You said, and I quote, I would rather eat my own bogies than watch that rubbish. Now, Ben's mum and dad loved ballroom dancing. Sometimes Ben thought they loved it more than they loved him. There was a TV show on Saturday evenings that Mum and Dad never missed called Strictly Stars Dancing, where celebrities would be paired up with professional ballroom dancers. In fact, if there was a fire in their house, and Mum could only save either a sparkly gold tap shoe once worn by Flavio Flavini, the shiny tanned dancer and heartbreaker from Italy, who appeared in every series of the hit TV show, or her only child, Ben thought she'd probably go for the shoe. Tonight, his mum and dad were going to the arena to see Strictly Stars dancing live on stage. I don't know why you don't give up on this pipe dream of yours of becoming a plumber, Ben, and think about dancing professionally, said Mum, her lip liner scrolling across her cheek as the car bounced over a particularly bumpy speed bump. Mum had a habit of applying makeup in the car, which she often arrived somewhat looking like a clown. Maybe, just maybe, you could end up on Strictly, added Mum excitedly. There's a little photo of them in the car. Because prancing around like that is stupid, said Ben. Mum whimpered a little and reached for a tissue. You're upsetting Mother. Now just be quiet, please, Ben. There's a good boy, replied Dad firmly as he turned up the volume on the radio. Inevitably, a Strictly CD was playing. 50 golden greats from the hit TV show was emblazoned on the cover. Ben hated the CD, not least because he'd heard it a million times. In fact, he'd heard it many times. It was like torture. Ben's mum worked at the local nail salon, Gail's Nails. Because there weren't many customers, Mum and the other lady who worked there, unsurprisingly named Gail, spent most days doing each other's nails, buffing, cleaning, trimming, moisturising, coating, sealing, polishing, filling, extending and painting. They were doing things to each other's nails all day long. That meant Mum would always come home with extremely long multicoloured plastic extensions on her fingertips. Ben's dad, meanwhile, worked at the security guard at a local supermarket. The highlight of his 20-year career thus far was stopping the old man who had concealed 2 tubs of margarine down his trousers. Although Dad was now too fat to run after any robbers, he could certainly block their escape. Dad met Mum when wrongly accusing her of shoplifting a bag of crisps, and within a year they were married. The car swung round the corner into the grey close where Granny's bungalow squatted. It was one of the whole row of sad little houses, mainly inhabited by old people. The car came to a halt and Ben slowly turned his head towards the bungalow. Looking expectantly out the window was Granny, waiting. She was always waiting by the window for him to arrive. How long had she been there, thought Ben, since last week? Ben was her only grandchild, and as far as he knew, no one ever came to visit. Granny waved and gave Ben a little smile, which his grumpy face just about permitted him to reluctantly return. Right, one of us will pick you up tomorrow morning at around 11, said Dad, keeping the engine running. Can't you make it 10? Ben, growled Dad. He released the child lock and Ben grudgingly pushed the door open and stepped out. Ben didn't need the child lock, of course. He was 11 years old and hardly liked to open the door while the car was driving. He suspected his dad only used to stop him from diving out the car when they were on their way to Granny's house. Clunk went the door behind him as the engine revved up. Before he could ring the bell, Granny opened the door. A huge gust of cabbage blasted in Ben's face. It was like a great big slap of smell. She was your textbook Granny. And here's a photo of the Granny. It was like a great big slap of smell. She was your textbook Granny. And here's a photo of the Granny. Are Mummy and Daddy not coming in? She asked, a little crestfallen. This was one of the things Ben couldn't stand about her. She was always talking to him like he was a baby. Broom, broom, broom. Together, Granny and Ben watched the little brown car race off, leaping over speed bumps. Mum and Dad didn't like spending time with her any more than Ben did. It was just a convenient place to dump him on a Friday night. No, sorry, Granny, spluttered Ben. Oh well, come in then. I've now set up the Scrabble board for your tea. I've got your favourite cabbage soup. Ben's face dropped a little further. No, he thought. And that is chapter 1 done. So it's a very good book and hopefully a few of you can continue reading this.